wish to get my opinion across, really.
Excellent.
It's just the way you're coming across, really, to be fair.
Okay.
Before we jump in, tell me where you're tuning in from. And remember to like and subscribe. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps these stories coming. All right, let's get into it. Today's call is a perfect example of what happens when someone tries to passionately defend the far-right riots, defend Tommy Robinson, and defend this entire narrative about stopping illegal immigration without actually understanding any of the ideas they're repeating. It's a situation we've seen again and again. Someone phones in, convinced they're about to expose some hidden truth. But the moment James O'Brien asks a simple question, the whole argument starts to wobble. And then it collapses entirely, right there on air. This caller arrives with absolute confidence. He's certain he knows what's going on. He's certain the riots are justified. He's certain it's all about people standing up against so-called illegal immigration. He believes he's speaking for the nation, repeating what he's seen online, what he's heard in far-right echo chambers, what's been shared on viral posts designed to inflame and divide. But here's the twist. All it takes is one calm question, just one, for everything he believes to unravel. No shouting, no drama, no tricks. Simply James asking him to explain the basic premise behind his argument. And suddenly the caller is struggling, backtracking and admitting that he doesn't actually know the very thing he built his outrage upon. And that's what makes this clip so extraordinary. Because what you're about to watch isn't just a caller losing a debate. It's a moment where an entire worldview, one shaped by online fear-mongering, misinformation, and far-right narratives, is exposed as completely hollow. By the end, it becomes painfully obvious the anger was real, the passion was real, but the facts, they were never there to begin with. So let's roll the call. Pay close attention to how quickly certainty turns into confusion, and how easily a confident talking point falls apart under the weight of a single logical question. After the clip, I'll break down exactly why this keeps happening, and what it says about the political moment we're living through.
Start with Aaron, who's in Medway. Aaron, what would you like to say?
Hello there. First time calling, so I'm a little bit nervous. Wish to get my opinion across, really.
Excellent.
It's just the way you're coming across, really, to be fair.
Okay.
Like, you keep saying Tommy Robinson is inciting the violence and everything as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But if you actually read through all his tweets and everything, he's constantly advocated for no violence, because that undermines everything. He's constantly been saying, everyone stop the violence, because it gives everyone a reason to go against it, kind of.
Why did he choose to lie about a Muslim asylum seeker if he's not trying to incite hatred of Muslim asylum seekers?
Because that was the news at the time.
No, it wasn't.
It was. It was sort of all round everywhere on...
It was on racist social media accounts. It wasn't anywhere else. And I think Nigel Farage may have contributed very deliberately to the confusion. But you chose, did you, to believe it, despite there being no evidence? I didn't. Why would you do that?
At the time, yeah.
Why do you think you did that?
I don't know, It's social media. I agree that there is a big problem with social media everywhere.
And where does Tommy Robinson do most of his work? Where does he do?
It's on X.
What?
It's on X, social media.
So that's where the big problem is?
Yeah, but what
you're here to tell me he's not part of it?
Well, he hasn't told everyone to go out and loot shops and riot.
No, but he's told people that 3 little girls were murdered by a Muslim asylum seeker, and lo and behold, people are looting shops and rioting and kicking in the doors of Muslims. You don't think there's any link at all there, Aaron?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's right in that, along with a lot of other people that come out with this misinformation.
What do you think then?
What do I think about what exactly?
What do you think about these riots?
I think the violence is completely wrong, It undermines everything they're trying to achieve, or the point they're trying to get
What's the point they're trying to get across?
Yeah, the point we're trying to get, they're trying, we're all trying to get across.
You said we're then, didn't you? Was that just a slip of the tongue?
Yeah, because the mainstream media make people more right-wing, even though it's central.
Right. So what's the point? What's the point they're trying to get across?
Do you think it's right that we're spending £6 million a day to house illegal immigrants in hotels while our elderly are going to freeze this winter?
I think that it's a direct consequence of the Conservative Party's decision to stop processing asylum applications, between 70 to 80% of which will be passed once those applications are processed. And if you go to the Home Office website, you can see how the annual cost has risen from millions to billions as a direct consequence of what they have done, because by creating this crisis, they can whip up the kind of hatreds and prejudices that they thought would help them electorally, but of course they miscalculated on what the Reform UK Limited Party would do. And when you say illegal immigrants, you are wrong, because they can't be here illegally until their application has been processed. And as I've just told you, 70 to 80%.
You haven't even got to look in the news.
70 to 80% of the applications prove to be successful. So tell me again what point you think the people throwing smashed up gravestones at British police officers are trying to make.
Well, they're trying to make the point that, enough is enough. Like,
sorry, enough what?
Too many illegal immigrants, and we stress illegal.
Right. So why are they kicking in the doors of legal Muslims, people that were born here?
That's what I'm saying. That's completely wrong. Right. That is, you've got idiots in any group. Like last night in Birmingham, for example, where you've got Muslims out on the street. You will have wrong people in there that are threatening Sky News presenters. They didn't
threaten Sky News presenters. They swore, and therefore I watched it as well. And I'm a professional broadcaster, and if you don't immediately curtail a broadcast which contains swear words, then you'll get an Ofcom complaint upheld. But I talked at 10 o'clock. Yeah, well, slashing a tyre and attacking a police officer, they're not the same thing, are they? And yet I said at 10 o'clock this morning, someone will come on the show today and try to claim that these are somehow equivalent. Let's focus on the point that you think these people are making. They're making the point that there has been too much illegal immigration.
Yeah.
Okay, and you think that watching police officers get attacked, hotels get set on fire and shops get looted will make the mainstream media go, oh gosh, I think there are some people out there who think there's too much illegal immigration. But they don't know what the words illegal immigration actually mean, but they're certain that there's too much of it.
Well, every day we're seeing boats. I mean, I went fishing at Deal the other day, and you can see 3 or 4 boats come over every single day. They're not women and children. They're not fleeing anything. They're fighting middle-aged men.
How do you know they're not fleeing anything?
Eyes.
Now, how do you know they're not fleeing anything?
Because they're throwing their passports into the water on their way here to claim illegal asylum.
That's not how it works. That's what they used to do when they were on air. That's what they used to do when they were on aeroplanes. So how do you work out, Aaron, whether they are bona fide asylum seekers or not?
Well, you'd need to go through the proper. At the end of the day, you can't come up on a rubber dinghy.
No, answer the question. Answer the question. How do you find out? Well, talk me through what the legal routes are before you go.
The legal routes are applying properly, isn't it, through visa?
How do you do that?
You can't just rock up on.
Where do you do that? Where do you do that?
I honestly don't know because.
But you have to know, Aaron. Do you see why you have to know? Because you're on national radio expressing strong opinions which are built on nothing. Tell me how you apply. Tell me how you apply for asylum in this country.
If I was to turn up on a beach
just tell me how you do it.
Some other country,
tell me how you do it.
That would be illegal.
Well, how do you think they got to here? They've passed through loads of countries, mate.
Illegally.
Not illegally. They are asylum seekers until their application is processed. So tell me how you apply legally.
I don't know because I'm not an asylum seeker.
But you're so certain that they're bogus. You're so certain that they're fraudulent. You're so certain that they've got loads and loads of other choices. And I ask you what those choices are, and you say...
Well, what are the statistics for the amount of illegal immigrants that have come over here this year?
I've told you that the rough average is between 70 and 80% of applications processed will be found to be valid.
That's too much,
What do you mean that's too much? That's counting. That is saying, are you a genuine refugee? And the answer, after very, very stringent testing now, as a consequence of the political environment that you're part of, the answer comes back, yes, you are a genuine refugee.
Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is, you're spreading misinformation.
What misinformation?
The misinformation that everyone that's against illegal immigration is just racist.
Just run me by when I said that.
Earlier, you're constantly just saying,
tell me what I said.
The fascists.
Yeah, the rioters. I'm talking about the rioters and the people that have incited them. I'm against illegal immigration. I think that when people's applications are found to not be valid, they should be removed from the country. So what's the misinformation
so you're
then?
for the Rwanda bill then?
No, those are people whose applications were found to be valid, would have been sent to Rwanda or forced to stay in Rwanda.
Send these illegal immigrants? You're saying you want them out the country. Where are we sending them?
But it doesn't matter, does it? You send them back to their country of origin because they will be safe there.
Are we doing that?
Well, we'd like to. But we can't because the backlog of process of applications that haven't been processed as a consequence of conservative policy designed to appease people like the rioters and shall we say their fellow travellers has caused a bottleneck that Keir Starmer now has to sort out. So everything you've told, and just before you go, tell me what I've said that's not true.
Well, saying that Tommy Robinson's inciting violence while these riots.
So why did he lie about a Muslim asylum seeker?
Not the start.
That's how the riots started, Aaron. Based on that racist lie, which he was one of the main architects of. Can I just clarify one thing?
Yeah.
You were wrong about what immigration is. You were wrong about what illegal immigration is. You were wrong about incitement. You were wrong about what Tommy Robinson has and hasn't done. You were wrong about the rioters. You were wrong about my position. You were wrong about misinformation. Every single thing you've said in the last 20 minutes has been utterly unevidenced and wrong. But when we bid each other farewell, in my case, and I'm sure in yours politely, you'll still believe every single thing you believed when you rang me, won't you?
Because I see it with my own eyes, you know?
Yeah.
Like the two-tier policing. Yeah. You know, you can't tell me that doesn't exist and it's a myth. We all see it last night.
Right.
You know, we all see it. There was thousands, hundreds of Muslims and lots of other.
How many hotels did they set fire to?
Out on the street.
How many hotels did they set?
They raided pubs.
How many hotels did they set fire to? How many shops did they loot?
They raided pubs and took out white people and racially attacked them.
You saw this on social media?
Yeah.
Which you said 15 minutes ago was the biggest problem in spreading lies and misinformation.
Well, it's not a lie if it's there in front of you. You know, it's just
the tweet about the Muslim asylum seeker killing those 3 little girls. It's not a lie because it was there in front of you.
Well, no, because this is a video right there in Birmingham, and you can see Sky News was there.
I saw that video.
They had to retreat.
I saw that video. They didn't have to retreat.
Did you see the police in that video?
Okay. So no hotels set on fire, no shops looted, no police attacked, but it's two-tier policing because the people who are looting shops, the people who are setting fire to hotels, the people who are throwing bricks at the police, they're getting collared, and the people who aren't doing any of those things aren't getting collared. Therefore, there must be two-tier policing.
Well, did you see it last night? There wasn't any police on that news report.
Well, how can there be two-tier policing if there aren't any police there, Aaron? Love to the family. It's 10:38.
So, what exactly did we just witness? This wasn't just a caller getting a detail wrong or fumbling a statistic. It was an entire political belief system. One built on anger, fear, and oversimplified narratives about immigration, collapsing in real time. And the speed at which it fell apart tells you everything you need to know. Aaron came into that call absolutely convinced he understood the issue. To him, people arriving on small boats were automatically illegal. He believed there were proper, straightforward ways to apply for asylum, official routes, formal channels, some neat little process that everyone should be using, and he believed this with complete certainty. Not because he'd researched it, not because he'd looked at Home Office data, but because it felt right. It sounded right. It was the storyline he'd absorbed from social media, from far-right influencers, from viral posts that rely on outrage rather than information. But the moment James O'Brien asked the simplest of questions, "All right then, what is the legal route? Explain it to me," everything shattered. There was no explanation, no detail. Not even an attempt to pretend he knew. Just a long pause, followed by the quietly devastating admission, "I honestly don't know." That moment is bigger than this one caller. It reveals a much broader problem we keep seeing again and again. People holding intense, emotional, and sometimes hostile opinions about topics they have never actually examined. Their certainty isn't built on facts. It's built on repetition. They've heard the same talking points so many times that it feels true, even when they can't explain it. And that's where we are in 2025. Entire debates are shaped by people who are absolutely convinced they understand complex issues, while in reality they're relying on fragments, headlines, tweets, and the loud voices of commentators who thrive on confusion. And you can see it so clearly here. As soon as the caller is asked to describe the process he's so passionately criticizing, the whole structure collapses. And make no mistake, this isn't just an individual misunderstanding. This confusion is part of the business model of the hard right. They don't need their audiences to be informed. They need them to be angry, because anger is powerful. Anger is mobilizing. Anger is easy to manipulate. When people don't know the details, they become dependent on whoever shouts the loudest. And the loudest voices often have the least interest in the truth. You've seen this play out internationally too. Political figures rising to power not by offering solutions, but by exploiting frustration, creating villains, and positioning themselves as the only ones who tell it like it is. And the moment they're asked for evidence, real evidence, the entire narrative collapses, just like it did here. So now I'll put the question to you. What stood out the most in this exchange? Was it the silence when the caller realized he couldn't answer the basic question? Or was it the realization that so many debates in our society are built on foundations just as shaky? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a future video. Thanks for watching.